Okay, so this is part 2 for the third person tower defense tutorial. And as you can see, I just started it up. We did not start with the map that we made. So to fix this, we just go to the edit, project settings, maps and modes, and we're going to change these both to tower defense map and tower defense map, or whatever you named it. So close that, and now I gotta go to my actual map. So content, third person, maps, tower defense map. All right, I'm here now. So what I'm gonna do here today is we're just gonna do animations. They came out with this new type of animation setup thing. It's called motion matching. So I'm gonna do motion matching for the enemy, just to kind of like show it off. And then I'm going to do the traditional blend space for the player character. So to start this off, we're going to need to go to edit and then plugins. And then we need to do a pose search or something. Yeah, pose search or something. Cool. Check that. And then I need the trajectory thing. Trajectory thing. Motion trajectory. Yes. It's just basically telling me it's experimental. It's cool flamingos. All right, close that. And now we should have, well, let me create a folder for this first. A new folder. Animations. And then we can go into animations and then we'll call motion matching, new folder. Motion matching. Go in that. Right click here, go to animation, and then there should be this new motion matching thing here. So they have pose search database and pose search schema, which we're going to use. So I'm going to click the pose search schema because the pose search schema goes within the pose search database. And you'll see in a second what I mean here. It's going to be the SK mannequin because the SK mannequin skeleton here, that's for UE4. They're both skeletons. So this is going to be a PSS for pose search schema. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. I've never heard it said, so yeah. Got all mine from just reading documentation. So all right. Just open it up and save it. We're gonna leave everything the same here. Okay, and then we're going to animation again, back to motion matching, back to that pose search database I was talking about. And then it should be the only pose search schema in there. You just click it. I'm gonna name PSD, just the initials, and then enemy. So now we should probably check out the animations. So I'm guessing characters, mannequins, animations, yeah. And then under Manny. So these are the minimal amount of animations we have. I can do this for the enemy, but I'm gonna grab some animations for the character. So I'm just gonna click here and then I'm gonna hold Control Shift and then click here and it'll highlight all of them. And then I'm going to go to Asset Actions and then it should be Edit Selection in Property Matrix. So now you want to go to the root motion, enable the root motion for them. And this little line here is saying that some of them are checked off and some of them like aren't. So just click it once and it'll deselect them and then select it again and then all of them will be selected. So we're going to save that. We're going to close that. And then we're going to go back to our PSD animations, motion matching, PSD. All right, so super empty. Cool. I'm gonna dock that up here. So you can do this a couple ways. You can drag from your folder. So if I press Control Space, you can go find the animations and then drag them into this. Or you can hit Add, and then you can add whatever you're trying to add. So I believe they have a Blendspace for all this stuff. For walking and jogging, maybe? Walking and running? Okay. So that should be... That's pretty good. Okay. And then we're going to add a sequence. And that sequence is going to be idle. idle. Cool. I'm going to save that. And I'm going to close it. Because now we're going into the animation blueprint. So right click again, animation, animation blueprint, same SK mannequin and ABP, and then we're gonna call it enemy. Going in here, so we have motion matching, I believe, is the thing. Yeah, motion matching. And then we can hit this drop-down menu and it'll say our PSD that we created. And then we need to drag here and hit pose history. And if you read the description, it just says collects bones and transforms for motion matching. So we have the trajectory, which means we don't have... The character right now doesn't have the trajectory. So we need to go to our actual character for the enemy, because that's who we're doing it on. And open full blueprint editor, and then hit add, and then there should be a trajectory option. So it says character trajectory. Click that and you're good. Just compile and save it. Close that. So now we have that. All right, so hit the event graph up here. You have anim graph and you have your event graph, or you can click over here. So what you want to do first is you want to initialize the enemy that you want to use for this blueprint. So if I say initialize, initialize the blueprint animation, and I'm just going to drag this up here. We're going to use this try get pawn owner, and we're going to cast to cat. Okay, cast to BP enemy. And I'm doing this initialize thing because if you see the note here, this will cause the blueprint to always be loaded, which can be expensive. Okay, tries to access the object as a blueprint class BP enemy, and it may be an instance of this will cause the blueprint to always be loaded, which can be expensive to the CPU. So if we initialize it just at the beginning, it only gets loaded once, and it's not much of an issue. And you really won't have much of an issue until you start doing this a lot, but we want to minimize the amount of this casting that we do in general. But if not, then you want to like just set it up for the very beginning so it's not, so you don't keep running it over and over again, because it can be costly. All right, so we're going to right click on this and we're going to promote it to a variable. And we promote it to a variable so we can use it down here. So if I drag this off here and I hit get as BP enemy, I can now use it. So I can get trajectory, get character trajectory. And then off of that, I'm just going to promote it. Promote it to a variable. And that way we can set it. And that's all we need to do for the event graph here. Pretty simple. Do I have 2 event graphs? What am I doing? What? Okay. I'm closing that. anim graph. All right, so you need to right click on here. On the binding, just click this drop down menu and character trajectory, and then trajectory. Oops, there we go. You want to compile that, save that, and then you want to go back to, oh, I shouldn't have closed out of it. Oh, well, BP enemy is right there. You just go to your details panel over here on the right side, and then you drop down, and then you go to the animation blueprint that we just created. And you can see him jogging in place. All right. So this should work. And he is hauling. You can change the speed by going under BP enemy, and the character movement, you can change the speed here. I'm just gonna leave him running like an Olympian right now. So we're gonna close out of all these, so I'm getting them all mixed up. All right, so the next thing we got is the character blend space. So what we want to do first is actually get the animations we're going to use for this project. So if I go to my, do I still have it open? Do I not have it open? No. All right, let's go to Epic Games. Epic Games, and you go to the marketplace. Okay. And then you search for animation starter pack, maybe is what it's called. Animation starter pack. There's this. And you'll see the newest version is 5.2, which is 0.2 away of where it needs to be, right? Don't worry about that. So just hit the add project, and it'll say no compatible user projects found. Don't worry about that either. Just hit show all projects, and what the heck? Did I make 2 of these? Whatever, I'm gonna click this. Go to 5.2, which is the latest version they have for it, and then just hit add to project. And that's all you need to do. You can close out of that, open your project back up, and you should have all those materials in your content folder. It's called Anim Starter Pack. All right, so let's go here, and we're gonna create a new folder, and we're just gonna call it Blendspace, I guess. Blendspace. So just right click here and create animation, and then just go to Blendspace. It's going to be the SK mannequin again. BS underscore player, I guess, whatever. Oh yeah, I need to change the animations. Okay, so going back to our little animations that we got, these are all UE4 animations, so I can't use any of these. So the fix for that is there's a little filter menu here. Filter, go to animation, and then we want to grab all the animation sequences. So we click that, and it'll filter down all the animation sequences. Click here and press Control, hold Control, and then press A. It selects all of them. Right click, and then we want to retarget these animations. So we're taking it from the UE4 mannequin, and we're now changing it to the UE5 mannequin. So we drop down here. Oh my gosh, a lot of them. All right, let's see. SKM Manny is what we want. Cool. So you do click there, press Control A. All the animations are selected. I don't know if we need all the animations, but I don't feel like looking through all of them right now. So hit the export animations. And then under, we'll just take the anim starter pack. Under UE4, wait, oh, did I not create a folder for this? All right. Yeah, let me create a folder for this first. Let me just turn this off for a second. New folder, UE5. That is not a 5. All right. What did I do? I went in the wrong folder. Okay, cool. Click that again. Yada yada, same stuff. Scan Manny. Okay. Back to where we were. Export the animations to the new folder that we just created, which is UE5. You can add prefixes or suffixes to each of the little names of everything if you want to. I'm not going to do that. Yes. Cool. We now have more animations than we did. And we're going to use some of those animations for this. I'm going to clear the filters. Reset filters. Just hit here and then just hit reset filters at the top. Okay, so let's go back to animations and my Blendspace. Go inside the Blendspace and you'll see this thing, which looks completely different than what we saw for motion matching. So how do we use this? We set up our axes first. So this is going to be like your X and Y axis. So your horizontal axis is going to be your X. So going across, we will call it direction. Okay. So you can go 180 degrees before you reach the other side, right? So it's going to be negative 180. That is not the right number. And to 180, which equals 360, which is a complete circle, right? So you'll see it here on my x-axis. I have negative 180 to 180. And that's going to be my direction. That would be a full circle. All right, so going to the vertical axis. This is going to be my speed. The player, I believe, can move up to 500. So your minimum max is going to be 0, which is going to be idle, and then we're going to have 500 as your max. And you can change that speed later if you wanted to. But right now, I'm going to we're going to have an idle animation. For iron sights. Because he's going to be ready. Okay, let's grab another couple of those. Boop. And grab another one of those. And I'm just taking them, clicking, and then I'm dragging them onto the graph here. So just make sure that's 0. And then you can fine tune them by clicking up here. So the direction right now is 0.621532. I want this at 0. And I want the speed to be 0. This is 180 and that's 0, and that's negative 180 and that's 0. So then we want to have a walk in between. So that's going to be walk forward rifle iron sights. Now if I click on this, and I can make this 150, and I can make the direction 0. And then we had a left rifle iron sights. So it's going to go right here. So again, we're going to make that negative 90. And we're going to make this 150. 150 seems like a good number. Then we want the right rifle iron sights. It's going to be another 150 speed and 90. And then we want, I'm just going to look up iron sights. I'm just like, or rifle, iron sights, iron sight. Walk backward rifle iron sights. Perfect. I like that. You can just drag and click and drag, and you can pull it to the side. So if I have it here, I can just make it drag to the left, and it'll go all the way to the left. Speed needs to be 150 though. Okay, then we want the super fast running. So rifle run, jog, yeah, cool. Jog forward rifle, and jog backward rifle, jog backward rifle, jog left rifle, and jog right rifle. So we want that to be 90. And this is pretty much there. 180, 180, 500, 500, cool. And 0. All right, now if you hold control while on the graph, you can see as the player gets faster and then the direction that they're in, it changes the animation. So you can mess around with it a little bit. And the more animations we had here that blend together well, the better and smoother it's going to look. I don't really have that many animations on this graph, so it's going to look a little janky in some places. All right, so I'm going to hit the close here. We don't really need that anymore. And then we're going to have to set up an animation blueprint for this. So animation blueprint, going back to SK mannequin, always that one. A BP underscore. We're just calling everything player. Cool. So this is going to be very different from the last one that we created. So it's going to be Blendspace. No, sorry. Just gonna pull it in here. Yeah, BS player. I'm literally looking at it. All right. So this is going to be. It's gonna be It's gonna be a default slot. Yeah. Plays animation from code using animmontage. Perfect. We need to promote these to variables. So direction and speed need to be promoted to variables. And then we're going to go to the event graph. And we're going to do the same thing in that we're going to initialize. But this time we're going to get BP underscore third person character. Because that's the character we play. Let me just do this out of the way. Attach that. And same thing, we're promoting it to a variable so we can use that variable. And this is where it's going to get a little bit. Not going to get super complicated. But so okay, so we got those variables earlier. So now we can set these variables here. So we're going to set the speed. And we're going to set the direction. So we're going to need to get the vector, get vector, vector, maybe vector length. Vector length. Yeah, vector length is going to be your speed. Yes. So vector length is going to be your speed. And then we want to... Hi. What do you want? You tired? Just go to bed. Go sleep. So third person character, we're going to get actor rotation. And then we are going to calculate direction. And then, so we have this, and then we already have the velocity up here, so we can just drag this here. And then we can attach this to here, attach that to there, and that should be it for that. Compile, save. All right, let's make sure. All right, let me go to my actual player. Didn't name the player, it's third person. We're gonna add nothing because that's not what we're doing. I'm losing my mind. All right, ABP player. Compile, save, and play. All right, I've got an animation. You can't really see the animation blueprint for this though. So in order to see that, you can go over here and hit yaw. And now you can see a little bit of it. It looks funky in some areas, but you can see it's turning its body when it's going left or right. Okay, cool. And what are we at right now? Yeah, this is a lot longer than I wanted to do. So we're gonna stop here and I'll see you on the next one.